Hi everyone, welcome to the Jewelry Junction. This episode is called Jewelry 101, where we're going to be learning all the tips and tricks for hand making our own jewelry. So let's get started. So for today we're going to be learning how to make this Pura Vida style wax bracelet like the one I'm wearing right now. Let's get started, and you only need a few materials for this, so it's actually pretty easy. So first you will need some wax string. You can get this off of Amazon or go to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, whatever, and get the wax string. And you need scissors, and you also need a lighter, and you can grab a ruler if you want to, but I will just be eyeing out the measurements. So first off, you want to choose your colors. So I will just choose pink, red type colors, and you want to choose as much colors as you want. So I'm going to go cut my string, and I will be right back. Okay, so as I'm cutting my string, I thought that I should mention, so here's how I'm going to cut it from here to there. And then you need 10 pieces of string, so you can choose how much you want of each color. That is obviously based on personal preference. Alright everyone, so I am back and I got my 10 pieces of chosen string cut up. And so after you do that, you want to gather them all together, and you want to try to get them as even as possible on the edge. You're going to grab and leave like about an inch, and you want to grab your lighter, and you will quickly just light the edge so they can melt, and then use your fingers to kind of like knead them together, the edges. All you have to do it, and then you can also back up your fingers, make sure you don't hurt yourself, just like that, and then quickly just mold them together, the edges, and they should stick together really nicely. And so next thing is you want to do the same exact thing to the other. Alright everyone, so now once we have done the same thing to the other side, you should have all your string pieces connected, and it should look something like this. And next part will be creating this little part on the sides over here, where we can make the bracelet adjustable and put it on and take it off whenever we want to. So for that, we're going to pick a thread of our liking. So I picked this little cream beige color one. And you want to cut two 6-inch pieces. So I'm going to grab a ruler here. Okay, now once you have gotten your two 6-inch pieces of string cut up, we're going to start tying them onto our main bracelet. So we're going to grab it, and you want to align the edges, and you want to grab one end of your bracelet right here. You want to keep them as even as possible, and then you want to tie this string onto your main bracelet. So I like to just hold it tightly with my thumb over here, and then use my other hand to try to make the knot simultaneously. And you want to put it right underneath where we burn together the edges of the string. You basically want to do the same exact thing to the other side. Okay, so now once you have attached your two pieces of string on either side of your bracelet, this is what you should have. Now the next step will be adding the slip knot to our bracelet. So for that, you're going to need a 2 to 4 inch piece of string. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose this purple color that I had in my bracelet, just give a nice contrast. You want to gather your two pieces of string and your other two pieces of string, and you want to put them together in the middle like this, and just sort of keep them contained. And then underneath that, you want to put your purple or your little 4-inch piece of string, just like that. First thing you want to do is tie a knot. We want to secure this little 4-inch piece around all 4 of those little pieces. And then once you've tied your knot, we're going to start making our slip knot, and this might be a little bit tricky. Alright, so I've actually just grabbed a white piece of paper to put underneath the bracelet so that it can be easier to show you guys. I've done a few of the knots, as you can kind of see, but basically we want to grab a piece of string, the one on the right, and put it underneath your main string over here, the white string. And then you want to grab your other piece of string, put it over and around and through the loop that's been created by the first one. And so essentially this is what you're trying to do. Tie a little knot in it. The thickness can be however much you want it. It honestly doesn't matter too much. You want to just push the little knots you created close to each other, so it should look like this. And then you just want to cut off the extra string. I will tie a normal knot at the end just to ensure that this doesn't fall off. But also a little trick that you can do is add some clear nail polish if you find that these strings are coming off. Now the final step, we're almost done. You want to pull your strings and just tie a double knot just to make sure that when you're opening and closing your slip knot, you want to put this at the end of your string, so like this. I'm going to do a double one, and I'm going to do the other side, so just gather the two pieces. These are pretty even, so I'm not going to cut them off. And just like that, we got our bracelet. You can put it on, and then you'll grab the white side on this side and on that side and pull them together, and there you have it. Neatly done, and it looks exactly like the one you would buy from a store, except it's homemade, handmade, and you just chose the colors that you wanted. Thanks for watching this episode of Jewelry 101, where you learned how to make a Pura Vida style wax thread bracelet. I hope you enjoy. See you next time. Bye.